This question always sort of behooves me, which is how do you get in all the fat? Like, how do you eat it? Like, can I do 200? Can I do 100 grams of fat? This is an old subject, but I'm going to clarify it with details. Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to my humble life, where it's going to be like, I don't know, 7 degrees tonight, but that's okay. Let's get into the subject of fat. A lot of people still don't know how to get it in. Like, I don't know why this is so hard. I've done several videos on how to get in the fat, but I'm just going to do a quick video talking about it again. Okay, so this is a tablespoon. Okay, for those who live in the rest of the world that do not use ounces and pounds, who use grams, and that would be around 14 or 15 grams. Okay. What you want to do is you want to get 12 of these biatches in your diet. On the plate, where's a plate? Let's say that this is a plate. 1, 2. Now that's not all in one meal. That's split up throughout the day. And it's very easy to do. You could do 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, or mid-morning rather. Like if you got up at 6 and you ate at like 6:30-ish and you had 3 then, and then you had 2 in the afternoon with like an egg yolk if you don't have a histamine response to yolks. And then you would have at lunch between 12 and 1. 2 is pushing it, another 3. And then you could have another 2 in the afternoon. And then you could have another 3 at night. Or you can go even higher. You can do 16 spoons. I don't care. Just as long as you get in at least 200 grams of fat. Now, if the fat is... Now, the fat's different. Some is 14 grams per tablespoon, rather. And, or some of it's 15. Most of it's 15. So I just go by the general rule of 15, which is 180 grams for the whole day if you have 12 of these batches. The rest would come from your meats. Now, you're probably going to go over 200, but that's what we want. High fat, signaling lipase. That's what we want. We want high fat to signal lipase, the enzyme lipase, to break down the fat. We want bile salts to break down the fat. We want our liver to convert fat into ketones. And we want a healthy body to be able to make the ketones. First, it's going to be dietary. Then it's going to be your body fat. Of course, juggling all those other things like your whole life style. 12 of these. It's not complicated. I don't know why people think it's so difficult. It is not. Not at all. So, what kind of fat? The fat's very simple. Animal fat. We're talking butter. If you don't have a histamine response, how do you know you get itchy or mucus or headaches or heart palps or yellow stool or bloated, diarrhea, whatever. Otherwise, if you don't react to it, you feel fine. No itching, no nothing. There's ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. But then there's tallow. That's beef fat, rendered and melted down. And then we have lard. And we have the back fat. And we have the belly fat. The belly fat's way more creamy and divine. Now, I've got some pork belly in my refrigerator, and I just eat it with a spoon. I add salt to it. Eat it with a spoon. You can also take that tallow, take it out of the jar if you get like Epic, one of these brands, fatworks.com or whatever. I'm not sponsored. And you take it out and you put it on a saucepan in a saucepan rather, not on it. And then you add salt and you melt it. You pour it back into your mason jar, and then the texture is not so waxy. But how I do it is just to plop it on the plate, because I don't like, well, I do like, but I like it more that my butter, because I have no problem with butter, is solid. Now, if I'm out at a restaurant som svensk säger, if you're Swedish, you might say restaurang, but I'll have them give me melted butter. I don't think it's butter. I digress. Yes, you can pour it over your food. If you're doing butter, you can take a chunk of the meat and a chunk of the butter in the gullet, just like that. It's really simple. And if you're running around, you can take bites of butter. But you want to have butter with little fatty meat, because that helps stabilize blood sugar. We realize just not eating butter before bed is a good idea. Not a good idea, because you're releasing bile in the middle of the night. It can wake you up. Not a good idea. Yeah. Better to have a little protein mixed in, like little beef, little ground beef, hour before bed. If you have hypoglycemia, that's a whole nother video. Comment below. I turned off all the heat and it's getting cold as frack, so I'm gonna turn it back on. Now before I go, you could take a spoon of butter and you could put it in a glass, a mason jar. This has bentonite clay all over it, so it's looking a little rough. But if you had hot water, you could put the butter in if you don't have a gallbladder problem. If you got a gallbladder problem, you don't want to drink your fat. Don't drink it. Yeah. When it's liquid, you need a functioning gallbladder. But if it's solid, if it's butter, before it melts quickly, and you have it with protein, it's much easier to digest. Anyways, comment below, share this content. That's how people are finding me, is through the shares. And do you have a problem with fat? Do you not know how to consume it? 12 tablespoons would be the minimum. You can go up to 200, 300, 400 grams of fat. 180 from the fat alone, the rendered fat, is great. Higher is even better. Yeah, you don't get fat from fat. You get fat from broken hormones and high blood sugar. So fix your blood sugar, fix your insulin, and then you don't have to get fat eating fat, because insulin just scoops everything in the bloodstream. But the body's not releasing insulin because of the fat. It's doing it because of the blood sugar. Yeah, I know. Whole nother video. Comment below. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I do run a course where I go more extensively into all these topics. StephaniePerson.com, where I cover all 3 diets. And of course I do consultations. I have been doing them for years, and that's how I learn. Through real people, not some stupid foolery of a subjective study. I know. Real people, quite interesting. Got a lot of interviews, got a lot of people on my channel, if you really want to hear what a real person sounds like, and not some internet person like myself. I know. And I'm out. Yeah. The course is through StephaniePerson.com, if I didn't mention that. Okay, now I gotta edit this biatch, and it's gonna be cool. Peace.